Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, in the upcoming week, this Assembly will convene 3 separate meetings to discuss the Middle East and debate resolutions founded in deeply biased political agendas. Resolutions which are not only hypocritical, but also deeply damaging. Resolutions based on reckless disregard for the truth, serving only to deepen hatred and to revise historical facts, all while abusing the United Nations and its resources. Instead of grappling with the realities on the ground or pursuing genuine solutions, we are subjected to a narrative steeped in systematic bias. Mr. President, in the wake of Hamas's October 7th massacre, now over more than a year ago, the UN's entrenched anti-Israeli bias has been laid bare for all to see. Hamas's heinous crimes, the murder, rape, and torture of 1,200 people, and the kidnapping of 240 remain insufficiently addressed by the United Nations. Instead, this Assembly fixates on the so-called question of Palestine. But if we were to truly promote progress, if those behind the resolutions to be voted on today, among their sponsors, Cuba, DPRK, Venezuela, and the Syrian regime, were truly interested in bringing solutions to the war-torn region, they would abandon their obsessive efforts to delegitimize Israel and instead address questions that could lead to real progress. Questions such as how to bring upon the immediate release of all hostages, how to dismantle Hamas so it no longer possesses a threat not to Israelis and not to Palestinian civilians, how to stop looting of humanitarian aid by Hamas terrorists, how to act against incitement to violence and hatred in the Palestinian education system. These are the questions that demand real and urgent answers, not endless debates rooted in outdated, prejudiced narratives. Mr. President, more than a year has passed since Hamas's October 7th massacre. More than a year since 101 innocent people have seen or heard their loved ones. More than a year since toddlers hugged their fathers. More than a year since mothers embraced their daughters. More than a year since parents have been denied a chance to grieve for their children and bring them to proper burial. However, this Assembly is more interested in echoing empty rhetoric. How can we justify the existence of UN-funded bodies, debates, and resolutions which turn a blind eye to the barbarity of terrorist organizations, to the plight of the hostages held in unimaginable conditions in Gaza? While these debates and resolutions point an accusatory finger in one direction only, Hamas continues to exploit its own people as human shields, converting civilian infrastructure, including UN facilities, religious and educational sites, into terror hubs. Hamas abuses UN funds to sustain their terrorist activities, a fact that goes unmentioned in the reports and resolutions debated this week in these halls. These debates and resolutions fail to condemn Hamas's looting of humanitarian supplies, its diversion of aid to build rockets and tunnels, and its atrocities against women and children. Is it not time to confront the truth? Is it not time to hold Iran, Hamas, Hezbollah, and other terrorist organizations accountable for the blood they have spilled, for the lives they have destroyed? The reports underpinning these resolutions are the product of prejudiced mandates drafted by those with a predetermined hatred towards Israel. These resolutions prolong the conflict and deepen the suffering of those it claimed to defend, all while shielding the true perpetrators of civilian sufferings. Weaponizing the UN against the only democracy in the Middle East is no path to peace. It never has been. The time has come to unequivocally condemn Hamas, confront Iran's malign activities and influence, and address the stark realities on the ground. We urge member states to reject these resolutions. The misuse of UN mandates and funds to advance destructive political agendas must end. Israel will not be deterred, not by Hamas terrorists, not by their apologists, and certainly not by one-sided resolutions designed to undermine our sovereignty. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thanks for watching. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and hit subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. Until next time, stay informed and inspired. This is DaJobnik signing off.